How could people deny the existence of a disease that's been on the cover of Time magazine? So what's going on with that?
I think the denial from the CDC and the Infectious Disease Society, who hold the key to the treatment guideline, and God only knows why it was given to one group, the only thing I can think of is that they're in some kind of an agreement with the CDC, and I don't think if they knew that they were responsible for the deaths and the misdiagnosis of thousands of people, that the bottom is going to fall out and their world is going to shatter.
Do you think there's any chance that these guys are in, let's say, collusion with insurance lobbies that might not want to pay claims on this entire blanket disease?
It appears so. If you forget every study that you've ever read, if you forget every documentary, there's one thing you cannot deny. That is the testimonies of thousands of individuals, all with the same story, all with the denial of the insurance, all going through the same thing, and there's a pattern there.
How did you get Lyme's disease in Texarkana?
Well, actually, I contracted Lyme disease when I was visiting a friend up in northwest Arkansas, which is only 6 hours from Texarkana. And I was on a cattle drive, and I got several ticks on me during the cattle drive, and the ticks were only attached for a few hours. And about 3 weeks later, I began to get really tired and sleepy late in the afternoon, and I sensed that something was not right in my body. And then a red bump came up on my arm, a hard knot. I finally made it to a doctor, and he went ahead and gave me 2 weeks of antibiotics. He said, you tested positive for one Lyme antibody, which most everybody tests positive for Lyme, the band 41, which is what, but he did recognize that, but he didn't say I had it. And he said, you'll need more antibiotics. So he told me to call an infectious disease doctor. So I called an infectious disease doctor's office in my hometown. The receptionist said, he can't see you for 3 months. And I said, well, and she acted like she didn't even care. It was like total brush off. And I said, well, but I'm sick. I'm going to need more antibiotics. She says, well, if you have an emergency, I suggest you go to the ER. And so she gave me an appointment for 3 months later. And here I was still sick. So I started doing the research online. I found LymeNet, and I found out what was going on, and I panicked. And within a day, I had gone to the Lyme disease doctor referral website and found, they said, you've got to get to a Lyme literate doctor. You're not going to get any help. And when I found out the truth about Lyme, I got in there. I called the Lyme literate doctor's office that morning, faxed my records at noon. At 2 o'clock, they called me and said, we'll get you in here in 2 weeks.